How did Kobe Bryant turn a $6 million investment into over $400 million? What specific investments or business ventures did Bryant pursue to achieve such financial success? What lessons can other athletes and business people learn from Bryant's investment strategy? Yes, you've heard of Kobe Bryant. You may have even seen him play basketball. Even though Kobe Bryant has died, still makes up to $400 million a year, making him one of the highest paid celebrities even though he is no longer alive. Bryant makes more money than David Bowie, Elvis Presley, James Brown, and Michael Jackson. Where does he get the money he makes every year? In November 2021, Coca-Cola decided to buy 70% of the beverage company for $5.6 billion, which was worth $8 billion at the time. This is where the real millionaire profits come from. 1978. Birth and the structure of a family. On August 23, 1978, Kobe Bryant was born to Joe and Pamela Bryant in Philadelphia. His family had 3 children, but he was the youngest and only son. His older sisters, Sharia and Shea, are his best friends and confidants. The 1970s and 1980s, an NBA family tree. Bryant's path to becoming an NBA star was a given. Joe Jelly Bean Bryant, his father, played in the league for different teams starting in 1975. Eventually, he took his 6-year-old son to play in Italy for a few years. Bryant's middle name, Bean, comes from a nickname for his father. Straight to the NBA in 1996. On April 29, 1996, Bryant claimed that he would bypass college and go straight to the NBA to become the best basketball player in the world. When Bryant entered the major leagues, he was only the 6th player to have come directly from high school. In 1999, Bryant met his future wife. Bryant's main goal and passion were to get better in the league and become a star there. But that didn't stop him from taking a short side trip into rap music. Bryant met Vanessa Lane, an extra and high school student, on a video set in 1999. 2 years later, she became his wife. When he got married at a young age, it put a temporary rift in his relationship with his family. The 2000s three-peat. Bryant wanted to be mentioned in the same breath as Michael Jordan and Magic Johnson. From 2000 to 2002, when he led the Lakers to 3 straight NBA titles, his goals started to come true. It was an accomplishment that put him on the map of basketball history. 2006, an 81-point game that made history. Bryant led the Lakers to a 122-104 win over the Toronto Raptors on January 22, 2006. Bryant was the best player on the court that night, scoring 81 points. At the time, it was the second most points ever scored in an NBA game.
Ladies and gentlemen, you have witnessed the second greatest scoring performance in NBA history.
2018, an Oscar winner. The basketball player won more than just basketball championships. He also won an Oscar for Best Animated Short Film in 2018. Bryant reads his letter announcing his retirement in Dear Basketball, a 5-minute film. The first book came out in 2018. In 2018, Bryant's first book, Mamba Mentality: How I Play, came out. He talks about the mental and physical strategies a player needs to do well. Kobe Bryant's estate to make $400 million in body armor's sale to Coca-Cola. On January 26, 2020, the world's end as we know it occurred. Calabasas, California, was the scene of a helicopter crash that day involving Kobe Bryant, his daughter Gianna, and 7 others. The news was shocking. 3 young girls and their families were on their way to a youth league basketball game. They died almost simultaneously, one after another. We lamented the loss of 9 precious lives. Bryant had played his last game in the NBA only 4 years prior, and he was just getting started on what undoubtedly would have been an outstanding second career as a businessman. During his 20-year career in the NBA, he earned a total salary of $323 million, making his career earnings one of the highest in history. Plus, he pocketed approximately $350 million from the endorsement deals he struck with companies such as Nike, Sprite, Donald's, Body Armor, Lenovo, Panini, Hublot, and Turkish Airlines. Bryant was also enormously popular in China so that he could secure important sponsorships with major Chinese brands such as Alibaba, Mercedes-Benz, and Sina.com. When he died, Kobe Bryant had a net worth of $600 million. How rich would he be right now if he was still alive? Let's begin by looking at one of Bryant's most astute investments. It was rumored that all it took was one sip of a Body Armor drink for him to be convinced to invest back in 2014. The company marketed its product as a natural alternative to Gatorade by omitting artificial sweeteners and colors and limiting the added sugar. Bryant's purchase of a 10% ownership position in the company cost him $6 million. Mike Rapole and Lance Collins, the company's creators, are no strangers to success. Collins had previously worked with Fuse Tea, and Rapole managed 𝐥𝐤𝐤𝐞, which includes Vitamin Water and Smart Water. Coca-Cola paid $4.1 billion to acquire 𝐥𝐤𝐤𝐞 in 2007. Before Bryant's investment, Body Armor had modest revenue statistics of $10 million in the previous year. By 2018, Body Armor had generated $250 million to persuade Coca-Cola to invest. Coca-Cola has committed to spending $300 million for a 15% company share. To put it another way, Bryant's $6 million had an equivalent value of $200 million on paper. The pre-tax valuation of that property was $200 million, which was added to Bryant's total net worth. If you consider Body Armor in the calculation, Bryant's wealth at the time of his passing was $400 million. As part of the agreement, Coca-Cola assumed responsibility for the bottling and distributing Body Armor products in exchange for an additional 15% ownership stake in the company. According to estimates, Body Armor's revenue in 2021 was approximately $1.4 billion. Coca-Cola completed the acquisition of the remaining 70% of Body Armor and gained full control of the company in November 2021. This transaction was worth $5.6 billion, which put the value of Body Armor at $8 billion. In the time between the two deals with Coca-Cola, Bryant saw his equity stake fall from 10 to 5%. Given that Coca-Cola has completed the acquisition of Body Armor assets, we know that a cash out for Bryant would amount to $400 million. That is a return on investment equal to 6,566%. If taxes were not deducted from Bryant's earnings, we would have kept almost $270 million. If you added it to his former net worth when he didn't have Body Armor, he'd be worth approximately $670 million. It is safe to conclude that if Kobe was still living today, his net worth would be approaching. On the other hand, considering the rate at which he gained knowledge about business and building connections, it is likely that he would have had a few other agreements in the works which increased his net worth even further. Within the next 5 to 10 years, it was extremely conceivable that Kobe would have reached the rank of a billionaire. Remember to subscribe to our channel for more. Also, set up your bell icon because we'll be back sooner than you think with another fantastic story. Take care until then.